Hey, we're your SMX Insiders, Jason Weigandt, Jason Thomas. Now, we already had an episode of our SMX Insider show running through the silly season, off-season changes for the traditional teams. But one of the cool things about the way this sport is developing right now is that we have 3 new brands about to enter this space. So in this episode of SMX Insider Extra, we'll break that down. So in normal times, this would be it. We've covered all the major manufacturers, but these are definitely not normal times for the sport. We're so excited adding the SMX playoffs and the $10 million prize package and 31 rounds overall through the season. That's exciting enough. But in addition, we're seeing new manufacturers join the sport and new teams. This doesn't happen, but it is happening now. Actually starts with Beta, who's already announced their team. Beta, a longtime trials and off-road brand, now going to race Monster Energy Supercross with known commodities, Benny Bloss and Colt Nichols. And we've started to see some videos of them testing the bike in Supercross. This is really interesting to see them move into this space.
Yeah, for myself, watching from Europe, I've gotten to travel over and watch the MXGP side where they've been dipping their toe in the water, testing, preparing for a step like this. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes because they have talent. You look at Colt Nichols, who was a fill-in on factory Honda HRC. He is a capable rider. And Benny Bloss, who's been around for a while now, but this was a guy that was a steady top 10 rider several seasons of this championship. So watching their Instagram, watching social media, they look pretty good so far. So I have big hopes for them, but it is a really big step to go toe-to-toe with, the established teams of this series.
Yeah, and I do find it curious. They do have some motocross experience in Europe, but they're going right into Supercross. They haven't decided if they're going to race pro motocross yet, but they feel like they're ready for stadiums. And again, they have talent, so you kind of expect a certain level of results. We'll see how that goes. As for Triumph, this has been a very slow build, a very slow burn, dropping hints they're going to have a bike 2 years ago and then 1 year ago saying we are racing in 2024 in the 250 class. They have not yet announced who the riders are going to be. We've heard a couple of names batted around, namely Jalik Swoll and Michael Moseman, who are out of rides currently at the moment. I think Swoll is known. He's going to go there. Not sure about Moseman. I think Evan Ferry will be on board as an amateur with the team. And we saw the bike a little bit at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, but suddenly that 1 year announcement, time's running out. Now it feels like a rush job.
Yeah, it will be fun to watch this team, and a story brand like Triumph is a great addition to the series, win, lose, or draw. But it's a tough ask. And when you think about the 250 class, the performance of the motorcycle is so key there, right? Can they find all of the aspects that you need to stack up? Think about what they're going up against in a team like Monster Yamaha Star Racing right off the bat. So it'll be fun to watch. But I have a feeling at some time during January, they're going to ask about Ricky Carmichael's 250 eligibility because him being a part of that team, of course, there's going to be a lot of upside, but it's going to be a really difficult challenge, I think, in the first few years.
Hey, you mentioned 250 eligibility. We also know that Joey Savacci would be on that team, but he's not eligible to race 250 Supercross, so you won't see him race for them until Pro Motocross, where he'll go back to the 250 class. And then the plan is for Joey to race a 450 for the team when that new bike is ready for 2025. And then we have even less knowledge and detail of this, but it has finally been confirmed. We heard Ducati probably would be moving into this space. And then last week they announced it's going to start in Europe because they are an Italian brand. They've hired the great Tony Caroli, the multi-time MXGP World Champ, to be a development rider for the team. They're going to start racing it in the Italian Motocross Championship. But look, this is Ducati. This is maybe the splashiest, classiest brand in all of motorcycle racing. There's no way they're not going to end up racing in stadiums in Supercross somewhere down the road. That's about all we know. But I know that Ducati only does it one way, JT, and they go big. So at some point, they're going to be a player.
Yeah, and of the 3, this has to be the biggest story. Ducati is such a big name in motorcycle racing. And if you watch MotoGP, right, road racing worldwide, they are absolutely dominating, and they're doing it with one way, horsepower. They have such a power advantage over all of the other teams. So they're going to want to come in and follow that up. They're going to want to come in with a dominant motorcycle and redefine expectations. Now that's easier said than done, right? But I think that's what Ducati wants to do. They don't want to come in and be an also-ran. So it's going to be fun to watch them and their rise, because I think a few years down the line, they will be a real player. That's the only way they want to do it, in my opinion. They don't want to come out and be battling, just making main events. They want to come in and win just the way they are in every other aspect of global motorcycling. So this is a huge addition. If you're a fan of this sport, no matter what, this is a very, very positive thing. Not only just the Ducati side, but these three great brands joining the series.